Guys, it is Wednesday. It is What's Up Wednesday. So what's up, guys? Let me know down below how your week has been. I am finally starting to feel a little bit better. You guys saw Monday and Tuesday were older pre-filmed videos that I never got to post because Vlogmas hit. So I hope you don't mind. I know one of them was like the craft fair. Figure I can't link any of that stuff anyway. So it didn't really matter. It didn't have to be super in the moment. And then I showed you guys the birthday gift for my sister-in-law, which included a lot of items from the craft fairs and other small businesses. Today's video for What's Up Wednesday, it's different every week, but because it is January 31st, I thought I would talk a little bit about the books I read this month. I used to do this back on my channel. I want to say it was 2022. It's been a while. And the videos didn't get a ton of views, so I stopped doing it. I don't know if I'll be doing it every single month. I think I will because I enjoy it. I hope you guys do. If you do, like the video, get into the YouTube algorithm, share this to other book-loving friends. I find my book videos don't do as well. I do a lot of vlogs, unboxings, hauls, so the people on my channel, that's probably more what they're here for. But if you guys are watching this right now, if I popped up on your feed and you love books, please consider sharing me out. I would love to get some book-loving people on my channel to get some of my book content more views because I do really enjoy books. That's why I like to do everything I enjoy on my channel. You know, that is the point of it. So that's why I do the plus size fashion. I do an occasional cooking video. I do unboxings. I do hauls. I do book club with Charmaine. You know, this channel is mine. I'm going to do what I enjoy. It's not just for the views. But if I can get a little, some more community with my book videos, some comments, I would really, really love that. So definitely consider sharing me out. But anyway, my goal, if you guys watched my goal video, I'll try to remember to link it down below, was I kept it really simple. Last year, I said I wanted to read 2 books a month. And I basically, there was a few months where I only read 1, but then there was other months where I read 3 or 4. So it kind of balanced out. This year, because I am starting my master's program, I'm going for my master's in special education. I didn't want to put a lot of pressure on myself because unfortunately, I'm not going to have as much time to read books I enjoy. I am going to have to read books for school. So I just upped it by 1. I said, you know what? My goal for this year is to read 25 books. I'll keep it at that. Some months, I didn't want to do like 2 a month, whatever. I was like 25 books throughout the whole year. I have 12 months. There are months where I don't work. Like I'm off all of August. July, I only work half days. I have vacations in the month of February. I have vacations in the month of April. Vacations in the month of December because I'm a school worker. So those months I may read a little bit more. So I'm hoping it averages out to 25 books a month. I exceeded my expectations for this month. I am so shocked myself. I don't know if it's because it's January, so I just hit the ground running. I will say, though, 6 of them were audiobooks. If it was for me to, like, physically sit down and read, I would not have been able to get this amount of books done. I am so, so glad that Charmaine allows me to use her Everland account because it has allowed me to read so many more books because I can multitask. I listen to them driving to school, when I'm driving to work in the morning, when I'm driving home from work in the morning, when I'm getting ready for work, when I'm washing dishes, when I'm cleaning, when I'm in the shower. So I'm going to start with the book I read in December. So in beginning of January. I did start it right at the end of December, but I finished it in January, so I counted it as January's book. I read Blue Hawaiian. Blue Hawaiian is by Carla Luna. It has 3.5 stars on Goodreads. I gave it 4 stars. Now, I don't really like to do star ratings because, like, Evelyn Hugo is 5 stars for me. Does this book compare to Evelyn Hugo? No. Was it a really good book and did I love it in the moment? Yes, that's why I gave it 4 stars. It's not like a shocking book. It's not going to change your life. It's just a cutesy little romance, and it's exactly what I needed. It's very typical, they end up together kind of storyline, but I enjoyed it, so I gave it 4 stars. And then I realized it was actually part of a series. It is by you can see right there, Blackwood Sellers series. So there is a second and third book. It does not follow the same characters. Some of the characters do overlap, but they are standalones. You do not have to read all the books to know what's going on. But I did read all the books. But I'm just saying that if you just want to read one off, you can. So then I read the second one. I finished Blue Hawaiian like January 5th or 6th or something like that. And then I listened to Red Velvet. Again, Blackwood Seller series, another 4-star read for me. And it's basically one of the characters that appeared in Blue Hawaiian It follows her storyline now and her romance. This one is a fake dating trope. I do love those. She is going on like a family vacation, and she bragged about her boyfriend to all her family, and then her boyfriend dumps her like 2 days for the trip. So she takes a friend who pretends to be that boyfriend. Typical ending. But I loved it. And I finished this one really quickly. I will say these are smaller books because I think they were only like 4 hours on Everland, versus like a Fourth Wing, which is 16 hours. I would say most average books are about 7 to 8. So that gives you a general idea. And then from there, I read White Wedding. And this one follows a wedding planner. And it's kind of like a second chance romance. I really, really enjoyed it. Again, a 4-star read for me. Same author, same series. Really enjoyed that. It says I finished on January 10th. So yeah, those were kind of like back-to-back quick little reads. Then I read Sugar and Snow. That is the physical book I read. I finished on January 14th. I gave it 4 stars as well. I really enjoyed it. It was a Nutcracker retelling. This is the book we read. It was technically December's book, but we did the review in January, and I actually read it in January. I really enjoyed it. I had never watched the Nutcracker, the movie, the play. I knew nothing of the Nutcracker. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about this book, but I really, really, really liked it. And this is actually a series too. There is a second and a third, and I do want to eventually read those. But for right now, I read Sugar and Snow on Kindle, and I enjoyed it. Then I went back to, well, I'll do one physical and one audio at the same time, because the physical is more when I'm laying down, sitting around. And then the audio is, like I said, when I'm busy doing something. So at the same time, I was listening to A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking. One of you guys recommended this. I want to say it was in October, because I don't know if I'm just saying that because it's a wizard. But one of you guys recommended this. It did go up in the voting poll. It was like the second place winner. It did not win. I think we ended up reading one of my picks, which was Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic. But I liked, when I went to go like look up the book and see what it was about, I thought it sounded really cute. It's a girl who has powers, but only with baking. Really, really cute. I think it's based in like England. It's by T. Kingfisher, and I rated it 3 stars. It didn't hit like all the points for me. I felt like it could have been a little better, but I did enjoy it. Maybe because there was no like romance in it, and you know me, I love a romance. But I broke up the romance a little bit with The Wizard's Guide to Baking. Then I listened to Pen Pal. Pen Pal is a smut. Not my typical read. I'm not against smuts, but I'm not like, oh, give me a smut. I like Love Hypothesis is like a perfect example for me. If you've read Love Hypothesis, I love it. There is only like one smut scene in that book, but it is done so incredibly well. It like creeped up on me because there's no smut. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa. And she wrote it incredibly well, because some smut scenes, I'm sure you guys know, can be a little much for me. This is a good example of smut I did not enjoy. I labeled it 2 stars. The only reason I actually listened to this book was not because I knew it was smut, and it's not my forte, but I am part of some book groups on Facebook, and someone said that this has a huge twist at the end. And I love books that have a huge twist. So I was like, let me listen to it. And it was funny because it was an audio. So I wouldn't listen to it at work, which sometimes on my breaks I would. But I got nervous. I'm like, if anyone walks into my classroom and all of a sudden they're using the word, I don't even want to say the word because I don't know what it will demonetize me. But if all of a sudden they're naming a body part, you know what I mean? It's not going to look good. So this one I did not listen to at work. Wow, this one's labeled 4.5 stars on Goodreads. Anyway, it does have a twist. I did enjoy the twist, but it wasn't worth going through the smut for the twist. I especially didn't like the smut. He called her Bunny, and she had to call him Master and Sir. Not into that. My preference. If you guys are into that, I am not judging you whatsoever. Your kink is your kink. My kink is mine. I got no problem with that. As long as you're 2 consenting adults, A-okay in my book. But I was not a fan. And it was almost like insta love, because they were like in love with each other. And I'm like, they don't even talk. All they do is have sex. How do they instantly love each other? I don't mind smut when I feel like the couple loves each other, like I felt in Love Hypothesis. I want them to make love. I don't want them to just F-U-C-K. And you find out why there's instant love. At the end, it does wrap it up nicely. But there was a lot of parts where it was very confusing. So yeah, I gave it 2 stars. It was funny because I was listening to it and Joe was like, "Well, that's getting pretty spicy." And I said, "I'm not even listening to it for that." I was like, "There's a whole other storyline." Because she's like in her house. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but all of a sudden the cabinets are opening and the drawers are opening, and she's wondering if she has a ghost. And that is the main reason I stuck onto the story. I wanted to know what was going on in her house. It was also a short read because, like I said, I think it was 4 or 5 hours. If not, I probably would have DNF'd it. Um, like I said, to me, it wasn't worth going through the smut for it. It, like I said, I did wrap it up nicely, but I wasn't like, oh my God, that was amazing. Obviously not, because I labeled it 2 stars. But there's people here that gave it 4.5. So probably a lot of people that love smut. If you love smut, check out this book. Especially because it does have a different angle. It's not just sex, 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 sex. There is that whole like ghost storyline throughout it as well. So if that is your genre, check it out. Then I said, okay, I need to step away from the sex and the romance. Let's go back to a little mystery. So I listened to A Funny Way to Dye, and it's literally DYE because she dyes fabrics. That's like her job. She owns a store and she makes like clothes. And this one, it has 3.2 stars on Goodreads, which is about what I labeled. I labeled it 3 stars. I have listened to a lot better mysteries, but it's very hard for me to give a book 1 or 2 stars. For me to give Pen Pal 2 stars, it was hard for me. So most books, as long as I enjoyed it somewhat, I will give it a 3. And not to say I didn't enjoy this book. I did. But like I said, compared to like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, compared to One of Us is Lying, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, this is like the best mystery I ever read. No. But if you want like a cute like comedy mystery, maybe, or maybe like just more like a cutesy mystery, they label it as a cozy mystery, so I guess that's the right word for it. It is like a cute little small town, stuff like that. So I labeled it 3 stars. I finished that literally just the other day on January 28th. Then we are reading Odd Thomas for January for book club. And because I was sick, and because I was worried, because it was like a 400-page book, so I said, oh, I'm going to start it early. I was sick, and I called out of work Friday and Monday. I was able to read the entirety of the book within a few days. I started it Thursday. I finished it Monday. Started it like Thursday night. And I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. I wicked enjoyed the book. That one has a twist at the end that made me go, oh my God, compared to Pen Pal. So I loved it. It's labeled 4 stars. Wow, Pen Pal got a higher rating than Odd Thomas. Odd Thomas is a series, but there's a lot of them. I think there's like 8 of them, and they're all very long. I would eventually like to read them, but I'm not going to commit to that right now. Maybe when I'm done with my master's program. It didn't end at a cliffhanger where like, oh my God, I want to read the next book. So, but I know there's more to the story. It did like wrap up nicely. But the end, there is a little bit of like a, oh my God. I don't want to ruin it, especially if you're reading it for book club. We're actually going to do a whole book club review on it in like 2 weeks. So, check out my video, my book club series videos, if you guys want to know the full review of Odd Thomas. But I did label it 5 stars, and I finished on January 29th. Currently, I am reading, I don't know if I'm going to count as January's book because I'm not done with it. I have 2.5 hours left, and I am reading Shop Till You Drop by Elena Vetz. It says it's part of a 6-book series. I don't know how they're making this drag out to 6 books, because I, so far, am not, like, super invested. And this was a 6-hour book, so I'm already more than halfway. It's not a bad book by any means. I won't DNF it. I'll finish it. I'm curious to see what happens. Maybe there'll be more to the story in the second half. But basically, well, yeah, there is more to the story now that I think about it. Because right now, all you know is this woman who works at a store. She overhears basically like her manager saying that she is going to hire a hitman to kill her ex-boyfriend's current girlfriend. And she almost like is in denial. She's like, no, that's not what I heard. I must have heard something else. So she doesn't report her. Then that woman is her dead body is mysteriously found. So now she feels guilty, and she's like, oh my God, my boss did do it. Then the day after, the boss is found dead. So something is definitely going on. And then you find out there's a backstory that woman is actually, she's nervous now because cops are interviewing her and all this stuff. And she is, I guess, a runaway. I don't know if that's the right word, but she is hiding from her husband. You find out she's from St. Louis. She had a really high-paying job that paid her like 6 figures a year. She wore all the best name brand clothes, and she had to run from that life. You don't really know why too much yet. She has to get paid under the table because she doesn't want to be found out. And now she's like broke, living in Florida. So I guess there probably is actually a lot more to the series. I'll have to see how the second half is. Right now, I feel like it's just kind of being dragged out. So if you guys want to know, maybe I will maybe I will do what I read in February. I don't know if I'm going to read as many as I got done this month. Like I said, I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself. But I am off. Oh, it's my cat. I am off the week of February, and I do want to read at least one book, like a physical book. If I actually put this as a book club recommendation, you guys are going to see that tomorrow. Even if it doesn't win, I'm going to try to read this, A Not So Meet Cute by Megan Quinn, because I have heard really, really good things about it, and it is definitely a Valentine's Day themed book. You could even see like Cupid's arrows. It talks about Cupid's arrows in the back, and I just got this recently. I treated myself from Target because it was 20% off. And I've just heard really, really good things about it. And I've been dying to read it. So I think this will be my week of vacation, Valentine read, even if it doesn't win. And then, of course, I'll read the book that is won from book club. So I'll have read at least 3 books, hopefully, is the goal. I'll finish Shop Till You Drop. I'll read Not So Meet Cute, and then the book club book. Unless this is the book club book, then it'll only be 2. So let me know if you like the book series. Like I said, I can continue on, maybe do 1 a month. I know Charmaine is mostly a book channel now, and she loves it, and books is definitely a part of my life, but I've been loving the plus-size fashion content. When I'm not sick and actually doing fun things, I love the vlogs. That is all things you guys are going to see on my channel. Like I said, the unboxings, the hauls, occasional cooking, What's Up Wednesday. All right, well, that's my cue to go. I am still sick. I'm going to take a hot shower and go to bed. But if any of that sounds good to you, definitely consider subscribing and be safe.